The Think With Your Feet programme is an adult mental health programme. We meet every Friday, 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock. The group is there as a sort of support group, so people attend the session where they can chat to other people, get to know other people going through the same things. For those 2 hours, they come, they meet people, they play a bit of football, and they kind of feel like having a purpose, having a reason to be there. The support from Kindred helps us to hire pitches, use the minibus to fund trips going down to different foundations, or purchase new equipment or new footballs or bibs for the session so we can run the session to a high standard.
I've been going for about 10-15 years now. I've been going there. When I went, obviously I was like bottom of the barrel, like suicide sort of thing, you know what I mean, at the time. And obviously I meet people like family now to me. I mean, I never even knew none of them until I started going. And like they're like family now every time you go. Like, you know, you can talk, you can say things when you're there. Yeah. And that's what it was. Like you felt lonely sometimes. But it's like you say, you need to talk, and that's what it's about. You know?
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you.
Like I feel more confident in myself.
Yeah, that's the main. Like even with my experience, when you're, as I call it, a dark place.
Yeah.
But because we're men, we don't like to talk about our emotions and how vulnerable we are. But I think it gets to a certain point in life where you have to talk. Yeah. Even with family, friends, or specialists that deal with those type of things. I think once you talk to people, and you talk about what you're going through and stuff like that, you eventually see the light, which happened to me, you know. I was in a dark place for about 7 to 8 months, you know. And it got to like a point in my life, I said, I need to talk now. Just because the amount of pressure, weight you feel on your shoulders. And as a man, I know we're not meant to talk, and we're meant to not show vulnerability, but it's fine to be vulnerable and talk about your emotions and stuff like that, because once you speak, like even speaking to people is powerful. Just talk in general is powerful. So I say once you speak and get it off your chest, all that pressure and weight comes off your shoulders, you feel like a different man, you feel better by yourself and in yourself, and etc.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, you think about what other people are going to say, but that's what I'm saying. I think that's why a lot of men don't say nothing. Oh, but he might say this about me, but it's like say, they don't realise what's really going on.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
We meet every Friday from 1 till 3. And it's people from all backgrounds, all different cultures, but everyone is all going through mental health. Yeah. So no matter where you're from, you're all going through that same thing. So there could be new people turning up, and straight away no one judges them because they're going through the same thing that all of us are going through. And that's where, going back to what Frank said, it's like a family. No one judges everyone because you're all going through the same sort of thing. Yeah, some people might be a bit worse than others, but at the end of the day, it's still mental health. Yeah. No matter if they're just having a bad week or they've had a bad few years, it's still the same criteria, no matter how bad it is. So we all turn up. We have 2 hours of footy. There's always staff there if you're struggling. There's always members there, so can we go have a chat? And you know that like the resources are there if you do need someone. Because sometimes, like I say, as men, it's hard to go out to counsellors and stuff, because as a family man, you're worried in case you say the wrong thing to them, and then you're red flagged in this, where to speak to lads that are going through the same thing, they can understand what you're saying. Yeah. And seeing them every week, you'd be like, you don't look yourself this week. Yeah. And you automatically just go talk to them. Where your family see you every single day, they might not see the change in your body language, but when you're playing with these people, they pick up on it because they're going through the same thing.
Martha, yeah. So about a year ago, my friend passed away due to mental health. I've never actually said that out loud. So he was the one that I used to talk to, but I've never actually learned how to grieve, so I've never processed it.
Yeah.
And like the later it got on, the more like you kind of process it and like realise, because he worked away a lot with the Navy, it actually kind of set in. So I started going about 7 months ago, and it helps just as a distraction, and you can just talk to them. You feel included, you don't feel judged, you can just be yourself.
Yeah.
It's just nice to be involved, isn't it?
Yeah, because I'll say when my closest uncle passed last year, December, November, it was hard because, as you said, as grieving some people can grieve straight away, some people it takes time to process. I remember one time my mum, all my family were up one time, we're having a laugh and whatnot. Then it just hit me in my living room. I remember going to my garden, sitting down for like a good hour and a half, just processing everything that's been going on in my life, like a cycle. Then like you start to cry, but not full on crying, like little tears and emotions start coming out of you. Then, as you said, it took so long for me to process. So it took about a week, not a week and a half. A week and a half is not long, but in certain people's eyes, it's long because someone passes, people expect you to be emotional instantly, but some people it takes time to actually hit you. Coming from a man's perspective, so it took me about a week and a half to process everything. Then, like, I thought I could use football as a distraction because I come and train every day. But when you're on the pitch and you're playing games and stuff like that, I say it's one of the worst things to go through. Just because, like, you want to do well for your teammates and the fans, but at the same time you don't really want to be there at the same time. That's how I felt in games, where games was going past me. I feel like I was moving in quicksand. Like, Gaffer would tell me something, I don't really care. Like, it got to a point where I had to speak to the Gaffer and say, oh, this is happening. Like, I don't know how to process it. So I said to him, I'm going through this and that. Then he said to me, do I want time off? But in my eyes, if I took time off, I feel like it would have made it worse for me.
You got more time to concentrate, haven't you? More time.
Yeah, so I said, no, I'd rather stay and just still grieve, but work through the pain at the same time. And I was doing that for a good couple months while I wasn't in the squad and stuff like that. And it helped. I wouldn't say it helped fully, but it helped to a certain extent. But I feel like the way we do things, I don't know how you lot would deal with things, but with me, when I'm going through so much things, I'm trying to deal with like 6 things at once, which is impossible. Which is possible, is very impossible at the same time. But I think once you do everything a step at a time, so one thing, get that ticked off, another thing ticked off, it becomes so much easier and the pressure's off you as much. So once I'd done everything like step by step, it became so much easier grieving and talking how I felt in my head, in everything. When I got to a stage now, I felt back to my normal self again. But it does take time to process, like, as you said, friend passing the Navy and stuff like that. In general, even in life, when people pass and stuff like that, you have to process, like, grief. Everyone will process grieving, but it depends how you process it.
I started going to the foundation after lockdown. Just after lockdown when we had to play outside then because we couldn't play inside. And I found that just with like-minded people, like I'd been agoraphobic for 4 years. Then in 2019 managed to get out again, and then I got a job in the NHS and stuff. And then the lockdown happened, and then it come back again. So I had to do loads of exposure therapy, getting out again. Really difficult time, and then the foundation and playing football really helped get my mental health back again and my confidence back. And like, it's done a hell of a lot for me, playing football with people who I consider to be good friends. Met some great people who I think will be friends for life. I've had a bit of a difficult year this year because my father passed away in February. He was my best friend. I held it together for the funeral because I had loads of things to do, the executive, his will, and a speech at his funeral, and I just wallowed for like it's weird, time seems to like stand still in it. Like I didn't really process it properly, and I was that depressed that I stopped coming to the sessions because I couldn't, I wasn't fit enough, I wasn't looking after myself, I wasn't eating well. It's only recently I've started to eat properly again, not eat rubbish. I've lost 2 kilos in a short space of time, so I'm getting myself back on track again. But it's a weird one, like you said. I didn't know how to grieve or what to do or how to deal with it, and it eventually clicked that I needed to talk about it, because that's what I was doing. I was bottling up inside, and it was just making me worse, and I was just suffering on my own, just sat in my flat, just not really doing anything other than thinking about my dad and being sad and depressed. And it's just recently I feel like I've turned a corner and I've just started to enjoy life again, which is good.
That's the most important thing, you know, when you're in that dark place and you start feeling yourself again. It means you're on the right track to seeing the light again. Yeah. So I would say to you, all 4 of you, keep doing what you're doing, and always think you can see people happy in life, but we don't know what they're actually going through deep down. I was able to, not able, but I was kind of able to still laugh around with people around the club and whatnot. But deep down inside me, I wasn't okay. So just always think of that. There's always people who's been in the same position you're, even worse. And there's always some people have ended up coming out of that stage. So that's my advice. I'll say just keep doing the right things. And as you say, just get better at, not get better, but just keep processing things in ways that help you not forget about things, but say, okay, this happened, I'm gonna process it this way, or someone else passed, I'm gonna process it that way. Now you have that experience of where you've been in life. You can always use the experience that you've been through for the better, if that makes sense.